Hi.
Hey, oh my God, that hurt my ears. What is going on? What is up? What is up? What is up? Hey, it's your boy Jeff. It's your boy Migs. I don't know what this is. There you go. It's your boy Jeff. It's your boy Migs. And it is time for your Wednesday fill of your favorite Hoops Talk show brought to you by NBA Front Row, the podcast. Here we go. Here we go. And, interesting day. Interesting day of NBA playoff action. But before that,
Terrible day.
Before that, of course, I want to give a mad shout out to two very cool businesses. Again, I want to give a mad shout out to, of course, this is one of my favorites, by the way. Silly Q. I ate it with shomai finally, and it was so good. I felt like I was in the Bangon Tisa. That thing is legit delicious. To anybody and everybody watching this show, again, mad shout out to Quay Dilaw and Silly Q. That thing is legit. It is the absolute bomb. And of course, shout out to our favorite sponsor, Showroom.ph, quality homes, quality prices. If you are on the lookout for properties, studio units, homes in the Queen City of the South, please visit facebook.com/theshowroomph or www.showroom.ph to find your newest, your most favorite home. Now, apart from that, I want to give a mad shout out to everybody who will be watching this show and everybody who is a Phoenix Suns fan and everybody who is right now not a fan of Almoralde. I want to give a mad shout out to all of you, and I'll explain why in a bit. Migs, who do you want to give a mad shout out to, and who do you want to show some love for?
Just like just a message to all the Lakers fans. It's a tough day for us. It was a massacre earlier.
Oh my God!
Definitely a game that we would like to forget. But let's keep the faith, guys. No, let's keep the faith, guys. There's still game 6. No, they still have a chance. Now I know the odds are against us, and but hey, man, if we give up this early, then it's wait. I have to charge my laptop. Okay, plugging it in. Okay, no, guys, we can't just give up. Diba? We still have to go out. We have to show up for our team. No, that's tough day.
Real
tough
fans don't
day.
quit.
Yeah.
Real fans do not.
Let's not be fair weather fans. Diba? I mean, we're in it.
Laker fans are the most loyal.
The bad and the bad
That's
times.
what I know.
Yeah.
Through the good and the bad. Okay, here's what I want to say to them. Let's cover the first game. Let's cover that game. Lakers Suns. Now, coming into this series, the Lakers are actually favored to win. First time in, I think, odds and betting history in the NBA where a 7th seed was favored to win over a 2 seed. Never has happened before, I think. I could be wrong. Has never happened before in the past. But again, the Lakers were favored to win this series. I think the odds were about 6 to 10. Now, so the first couple of games go by. The Lakers take a 2-1 series lead. The Suns take it back in Game 4, and they absolutely stomped them in Game 5. Now, Anthony Davis for both Game 4 and Game 5. Anthony Davis did not play the second half of Game 4. He also did not play at all in Game 5. It is very clear and obvious that for you to win a game, it's not going to be 2016, 2017. You're not getting ultra prime, superhuman being LeBron James. All right? Let's make that clear. This is not that LeBron James that created LeBronto, that took out a very, very good Celtics team, that took out a very good Hawks team. That, again, it is mind-boggling if you think that I could be wrong though. I could be wrong, but so the game 5 goes, and the Suns absolutely manhandle the Lakers. The first quarter was not bad. It's just that I don't know for the life of me what happened in the second quarter because I didn't catch that. I saw the first half scores and highlights. Second quarter comes. Next thing I know, when I took a nap, I came back downstairs. I checked the score. It was a 30-point. I could not believe 30 points. What happened? Where did it go wrong for them? What happened in that second quarter, which was so pivotal for the Suns, where all of a sudden it was like an 8-point or a 6-point game, and next thing you know, in the blink of an eye, it was 30.
Oh, it's just the Suns wanted it more. It really felt like pag start pa lang sa game, the Lakers could not wait for them to go back to LA. It's like
Was it that? Was it the
It's,
body language? Was it in
yeah,
the
it
movement?
was
Was
no,
it?
it was yeah, it was the body language. It was just the whole. It was just a lack of energy, and and
Right.
and that makes it worse, diba? Because
It does make it a whole lot
you
worse.
you understand that there are games that your team's gonna lose. Mm, but that's just part of the game. But you can't. You lose. You lose because the other team plays better. You lose because the other team
Mm,
makes more shots. You lose because
mm,
the superstar on the other team's getting 50. But to lose because
right.
you just didn't have the energy and the will
The
and
right energy.
because the other team just wanted it more, then that's the worst, diba? That's the worst.
Yeah.
And
And it
it really
shows.
goes yeah, it really goes to show how big game 4 was. Because if the Lakers went up 3-1,
Yeah.
even if AD got hurt,
Hmm.
AD wouldn't have to play this game
Hmm.
because even if the Suns
Right.
if the Suns win this game, they'd still be up 3-2. The Lakers would still be up 3-2 if they won game 3. I mean game 4.
Mm,
And then
mm.
they go back to LA for game 6 and try to close it out. I mean that's how
Yeah.
big that game was. And
Exactly.
I don't understand how again Frank Vogel knows a lot more about basketball than us, but
For sure.
they lacked energy and they lacked just the fight in their during their game ganina. So
Yeah.
it begs the question: why didn't you put in Montrezl Harrell, who is your energy guy?
Right.
I know he has his defensive issues. I know that Chris Paul or Cameron Payne would just pick and roll him to death. Devin Booker would just pick and roll him to death. But
Hmm.
then, you know, just the upside of getting all those offensive rebounds, getting
Right.
a putback slam here and there. No,
Mm,
just being that dog for your team.
mm.
The Lakers could have used him, and
I
yet he only
understand.
played what, third quarter.
He played in the third, but it was already a 30-point lead. Listen,
Yeah,
so a couple of things. There's really been this thing with the Lakers, and again, it ties into just them being a championship team. And Charles Barkley, from when the series began, he made a very good comment that you can't just turn it on and you can't just turn it off. A team like the Phoenix Suns, they're out here, they're gunning for you. They want blood. They smell blood in the water right now because the Lakers, it's not like it's not like in game 6, like automatically, because you might know something that we don't, where Anthony Davis might come back. You're not even sure if he's 100% or he's going to be good enough where you're going to get that win easy. It's not like that. It doesn't work like that. Understand also that I'm super annoyed at all the memes and all the graphics that are going to be out where when LeBron James was laughing at Jay Crowder and then all of a sudden, the Suns taking this, that's going to be something that a lot of LeBron fans and a lot of Laker faithfuls, are going to have to digest for an entire full NBA season until the next year's playoffs even. So did the Lakers lack energy? Yes. Did they lack interest? That's the biggest question mark to me. Did they lack a lot of interest to play in this game 5? Because they're probably just thinking, oh, you know what? Anthony Davis comes back in game 6. We're going to kick their ass. And then game 7, AD plays again. We're going to beat their ass. I think that is a Russian roulette. That you're trying to play a little bit of Russian roulette there because, again, the game of basketball, you can't count out CP3. You can't count out Devin Booker. And you can't count out the way DeAndre Ayton has played all series long. He's been one of the best centers in the NBA bar none. Bar none. Actually performing a little bit better than Anthony Davis in this series, and he's outplayed him as well. But again, did the Lakers look disinterested? Yes. Did they lack energy? Of course. If you're disinterested, you're not going to want to play. Dennis Schroeder had 0 points. There's a guy asking for $100 million contract. Get 0 points in a playoff game?
ridiculous,
Are you
ridiculous.
kidding me? Dennis Schroeder, this is your time to score 30, 35 if you could. 0? What? Absurd to me. Absurd. Contavious Caldwell Pope had a reason. I think he was injured midway through the game. Andre Drummond, you've been about as useful as Wesley Matthews. Those two are like, those two probably talk pregame with what they want to do in their heads and never do it. Okay? Kyle Kuzma will always get criticism because he's the guy the Lakers touted to be LeBron or whoever's next big help. They gave up Brandon Ingram. They gave up Julius Randle. They gave up Lonzo Ball. Only to settle for Kyle Kuzma. Oh, Laker faithful, what can I tell you? You took the sorry end of a horrible deal because as much as the Laker faithful will rally to defend Kyle Kuzma, you have just absolutely fallen flat of expectations. I don't know if you're gonna make it alive in a Laker uniform to end this year. If your year ends on Friday, I don't know if you're coming back. But man, I mean, Mark Gasol has been quite the revelation. I think I think that's why, because I mean, between Mark Gasol and Montrezl Harrell, Mark Gasol has been super effective. He spaces the floor. He's a great passer, and he's a great rebounder as well. Again, I'm just so confused with what happened in the second quarter. Because again, I took a nap. The next thing I know, I come down. It's 32-62, I think. I'm like, what the fucking
And all the credit should go. I mean, no, we're talking about the Lakers and their lack of energy, and we're making it seem like we might make it seem like the Lakers just lost this because the Suns like won this definitively.
Yeah.
Huh? I mean,
don't get it wrong.
Like Devin Booker was making shots. If you just squint your eyes a bit, those were Kobe shots. I mean, do you remember? I mean,
a little bit. The fadeaways.
The fade at the corner. It's like, damn, man, that was Kobe-esque, huh? And then,
right.
It was a great game for Suns fans because then you really saw what like this young team could do. You had Mikal Bridges getting chased down blocks.
Bridges.
You had
a lot.
DeAndre
Ayton, a lot
Ayton.
more effort.
Like DeAndre Ayton,
was pretty dominant.
Everyone was thinking that. In hindsight, everyone was thinking that DeAndre Ayton didn't deserve to be the number one pick because this was a draft where he had Trae Young and
Luka and Trae.
But then he's proving his doubters wrong now because the Lakers are known for their defense and they're so big, and then they have all these great big guys. But then the big guy who's dominating is DeAndre Ayton. Huh? This is his first playoffs,
right?
And he's getting 20 and 12 every night,
right? Mm-mm.
So I mean, it's a great. I mean, it cuts both ways, diba? Sad day for the Lakers, great day for Suns fans.
Understand that I was a big Phoenix. I was such a huge Suns fan during Steve Nash's time. Amari, I could name every player. I think there were times where I cried when they'd lose to the San Antonio Spurs, and then I'd run to the nearest internet cafe and play. It was still NBA Live. It was NBA Live, and I would just go on rookie mode and score like 100 points. But so yeah, again, credit is due. Credit is due to where credit is due. The Phoenix Suns played with a great energy. They played lockdown defense. Chris Paul being there, again, lifts this team up to a whole other level, probably even a championship level with the way they are playing now. And guys like DeAndre Ayton, Mikal Bridges, people, please do not get it twisted. This is still the second seed in the Western Conference. This is still a very, very good basketball team from in a lot of different spaces and a lot of different areas and positions out there on the floor. So
number 2 for
credit
a reason.
Again. Yeah, number 2 for a reason. And again, credit goes to the Phoenix Suns. Unbelievable ball game. But Migs, here's the biggest question. I got to go back to LeBron James. And the comment here by my good friend, JC Villarreal, Father Time remains undefeated, yo. Lord.
Yeah.
Now, Game 6.
True.
The lasting image in my mind when you say LeBron James in Game 6 was about a couple of years ago, I think 2012, if I'm not mistaken. LeBron James goes to TD Garden, against the powerhouse Celtics and has the game of a lifetime. I think he only missed like 3 or 4 shots, probably 5, 3 or 4 shots. Absolutely destroys Boston in the game where it becomes a meme where if you see this, it's over. The question here is, well, LeBron James, although a lot of people are saying that he's not 100%, he definitely does not look like he's not 100% with the way he's moving out there on the floor. Does he still have enough left in the tank for a vintage performance? We can actually legitimately say, yeah.
You know what worries me more is that I mean, there are questions about his health. There's a lot of questions about that ankle, but
Right.
what worries me more is that he does not seem to be into it.
That's
I mean,
also
diba? I
true,
mean, do
no?
you notice that? Do you notice that? It's like sometimes he checks out.
It's a
He
that
doesn't.
no,
He doesn't
Mix.
run back on defense.
That's
Yeah.
been I think that's been like a weird problem with LeBron James, not just this season, but in seasons
Mm,
past actually.
yeah.
LeBron James, like in the Dallas series, for example, back in 2011, he does have a strong tendency in some games. And again, we live in an era of social media
To lose
where
interest, diba?
no, I mean, talk about social media. We live in a time where everything can be put under such a microscope. So you see these things like just the body language, like he just does that, and like he's like shoulders down, and he doesn't get back on defense. Not to say that other players don't do this. Even Kobe Bryant would do this. Legit, yeah, I've seen also happen in the past. Because I'm a big Kobe critic. Like when everyone was so high on Kobe, I was the one man who hated Kobe. Now it's not the first time on good that LeBron James has done this. He has this tendency to just check out. Like he's not really into the game. I don't know if he looks tired or if he's I don't know, but this isn't the first time. And I guess to all the LeBron haters, it kind of fuels their fire. He's a bit of a flopper, which we know. It's a very popular thing with LeBron. He flops a little bit, and if he flops a bit too much, and in the weirdest situations where you shouldn't flop, like if it's JJ Barea, don't flop. Chris
But do you
Paul
know?
can
Do
bring
you
you
know?
down.
Who,
I mean,
you know who flopped earlier? Chris Paul. Like Chris Paul rolled
hey,
around on
Chris,
the ground and
that
tried,
was funny.
made it look
Oh,
like
that was
he
hilarious.
wanted to
Like,
go
come
after
on.
Wes Matthews. And then, di ba,
Oh
he made like
man,
he made such a scene. Di ba? And
I thought it was so funny. Like, okay, I knew it was a stinger. Like, it couldn't be because he was like down, and I think Matthews was high enough where like it was a bone on muscle hit like that, and then
yeah.
he caught a stinger. It's called a stinger. Right? It doesn't hurt. It hurts in the moment, but it doesn't hurt as much as you think. It's not a broken bone. It's like a nerve that gets pinched, and it stings for like maybe 5 or 10 seconds. But Chris Paul rolled on the ground. You can laugh. I'm like, Jesus Christ, come on, man.
Hey man,
What is
like
this?
the story of the game should be like the Phoenix guards, di ba? Making mincemeat of the
Oh
Lakers
yeah,
defense. Like Devin Booker, we talked about him, made
yeah.
like tough shots, man. Those are tough shots, and he made
Those
them
definitely tough shots.
like he made a lot in a row. And then Cameron Payne, like this whole series,
Cameron,
this series should be called the Cameron Payne
you know,
series
nah. I
because
mean,
he,
you know
he
what?
scored
With the
10 minutes in.
Lakers,
I mean, he scored 10 points in 4 minutes.
mix.
Like
You know
right
what
when
the
he came
Lakers'
in.
biggest.
Yeah.
You know the biggest mistake of the Lakers was in Game 3, where they were up for like 20, and Cameron Payne was able to go on this incredible run. He scores like 9 points in how many minutes? So you know the one thing you never do in a playoff is to give the other team life. You don't get too cocky. The Lakers, I swear, I'm letting you know now, there's gonna be a lot of memes, a lot of graphics about when the Lakers got too cocky in Game 3
Yeah.
and they gave them life. You gave Cameron Payne life. All of a sudden, now he thinks he can shoot. Now he thinks he can cut you off.
Gave him too much confidence.
You gave him
They
way too
got
much
him into a
confidence, and
rhythm.
now he's in a rhythm. Now he's cutting you up. He's destroying your defense. That's where, again, in a playoff series, there are a couple of rules, and one of them is to not give your opponent life. The Lakers did that. They might be in a heap of trouble heading into Game 6. If Anthony Davis is not there, this could
Oh
be
man.
done.
Can I
This is a
make a
done
call
series.
now? I have to make a
That
call
they might.
now. I don't see them getting past the first round. I'm sorry. I mean,
I don't
you know me,
either, actually.
like you know how big of a Lakers fan I am, but you also know that I'm the most negative Lakers fan. I'm the most
Probably.
realistic Lakers fan, and I just have to say that I mean the Suns are the better team, and it doesn't help that AD and LeBron aren't 100%, especially AD. But then you also have to look at so you have Chris Paul and Devin Booker, the two superstars in the Suns, and AD and LeBron the Lakers. But you also have to look at the pieces around them. And the pieces around Chris Paul and Devin Booker, they just fit. They just work.
They
The
fit better.
pieces around the pieces around AD and LeBron, they work because you have LeBron.
They're
Diba? I mean,
yeah.
he makes them work. And when you take him out of the game, everything falls apart. I mean, Dennis Schroeder is not, you know, Dennis Schroeder was a sixth man of the year candidate for a reason. Like he's a sixth man. He's a guy coming off the bench for a reason. You know why? Because he gets to play with all these second unit guys, and he's great against the second unit guys. But
he shines.
But as a starting point guard,
I'm not sure.
You can't be like. He's a scorer, diba? He's a type of point guard who wants to score, gets his own shots up. But then when you're on this Lakers team, that doesn't work on this like construction of the Lakers team, because you have like LeBron's your de facto point guard here.
Yeah.
So
that's the biggest question heading into Game 6 for me. I feel like the Lakers need to make a giant adjustment. That adjustment needs to be that they need to bring back the lineup that they won with in the bubble. That's LeBron James at the point. Then you got Contavious Caldwell Pope at the 2. Probably put Kuzma, if you want to risk that. Put Kuzma at the 3. Or you could put Wes Matthews at the 3. Again, the only point that Wes Matthews would be, even in the games for defense, that's it.
Hey, I have to make this point. I have to make this point na, if KCP played in Game 4, I'd be very confident that the Lakers would win if KCP played, because when you look at the stats, he's actually been defending Devin Booker really well,
fairly well, and I agree. Again, the one area where the Lakers need to make a giant adjustment is because Schroeder again after Game 3 has just been a dud, and I think the Suns have figured out his game a lot more than Schroeder has figured out the Suns' defense, and it's pretty obvious, no questions there. Now and then you got Anthony Davis, if he's available for Game 6 at the 4, and or this is the risk you could take, Marc Gasol or Andre Drummond, because Andre Drummond just hasn't been that playable. You can even put Marcus Morris. I'm not sure if it's Marcus or Markieff. I'm not sure. You can put Marcus Morris at your 4, Anthony Davis at the 5, because if you're the Lakers, Keith probably Keith. So if you're the Lakers, you need to make an adjustment. You need to make a big adjustment, because the Suns after that Game 5 loss. For the Lakers, it has to happen. Something has to happen. Because you can't because Game 4 was actually, if you remember Game 4, the Suns had a lot of momentum when Anthony Davis went out. The Lakers looked like they were super lost. And this Laker team, they're not a bad team. They're not a bad team, huh? It's not like this is just not comparable. This is not LeBron's second. This is probably LeBron's third worst team. Because there's no matching 16-17 Cavs, and there's absolutely no matching the 2007 Cavs. Those were horrible teams. They had no business at all being in the NBA Finals. Yet some way, somehow they were. And that's a testament to how good LeBron is. Now, this team is not those teams. You have Andre Drummond, you have a serviceable Marc Gasol, you have
it's not a bad LeBron team because of a lack of talent. It's just not the best. It's just not the best fitting LeBron team. I mean, it's a lack of shooters, a lack of an extra playmaker.
Well, that's a problem, because Dennis Schroeder is supposed to be the extra playmaker, but he's not there to play make. He's there to score. He's looking for a shot every time he has the ball. Rondo last year was looking to pass the ball. He was looking to facilitate. That's the difference now. You have Schroeder, who's it's confusing when he's on the floor, and all of a sudden you have Caruso as well. Caruso is a sixth man type defensive 3-and-D guy. He's not, and he's a good playmaker, not a bad one. Plays with great IQ. Now, to close this segment on the Lakers, again, I think that they need to make a big adjustment. And it's not that it's the Lakers series to lose. It's that it's going to be two teams battling it out to see who'll win. That's that. It's going to be that. It's going to come down to the Lakers making the right adjustments and the Suns making the right adjustments. I just feel like, though, if I have to also make a call, if Anthony Davis is not there, this is a done series. If Anthony Davis is there, it's going to be close. But, hey, do not be surprised if the Phoenix Suns take it. Do not. I wouldn't be surprised. Like, they played so well.
Yeah. Can I just last question before we move on? If the Lakers do lose this series, do you consider this a lost season, or do you just say, well, our guys got hurt, a lot of guys got injured, too bad?
I will say this because a lot of the argument really will not be with the Lakers. This is a season where, okay, there were a lot of ups and downs, but Migs, I have to give the Suns credit. I'm not going to take away anything from what they're going to do. I cannot say like so. If you're the Lakers and you look back on your season, it wasn't a bad one. It's just that
Yeah.
unfortunately,
I mean,
like a
no,
lot of other teams,
not taking away anything from the Suns, but just looking at the entirety of the
and
Lakers
the
season.
Lakers. Okay,
Yeah.
in the entirety of your season, yeah, there were a lot of bumps and bruises, but so did every other team. I would consider this as just a good look into what needs to be done because you have a good team. It's just that
Yeah.
people are banged up. People are banged up. That's the one thing. And again, credit to the Phoenix Suns because two teams deserve a lot of credit. The Utah Jazz and the Phoenix Suns because they played. They're the only two teams that have somehow survived the pandemic. Huh? They have
Yeah.
stayed fairly healthy all throughout the entire NBA season.
And got
Those are the
so many
only
reps
two teams.
together, diba?
They got so many reps. They built so much chemistry. The Lakers, there's just been. I think this is also if they don't make it out of the series, the one thing that they can work on in the offseason is that okay, so now you have a fairly good team. You can work on it and develop a little bit more chemistry, develop a little bit more cohesion because it seems to be lacking one good. Like okay, Schroeder's big. It's confusing. I think it worked better, and I might be eating my words. I think it really worked better when LeBron has the ball more, and he's your de facto point guard. Although it would have been better to see LeBron in a more of an attacking position. But again, it worked well for the Lakers because hey, he sucks in the defense too much, and that plays well to the Lakers. That plays really well in the Lakers' hands, dishing out to Caldwell Pope, dishing out to Markieff Morris, dishing out to Anthony Davis. There's a lot of space for LeBron to operate. The only thing is also is he 100%? Maybe not. And again, to answer your question, it's not a lost season. You have a lot of really good pieces. And the NBA season comes back next year. It's not like it's going to end. It's not like this is the last NBA season ever.
It's actually gonna come back quick, diba? Because so the finals is gonna like the playoffs and the finals
Probably
gonna
July.
culminate somewhere in June, July, and then
Right.
I heard na they were gonna start back up in I think September right away. So it's September,
Yeah.
October somewhere back to
Yeah.
the usual
So-
schedules.
Right. And I want to say something real quick before we end this part about the Lakers really. So, let's say the Lakers lose this. A lot of the conversation apart from it being the Lakers will really be about LeBron James' legacy. I'm sure a lot of the haters out there will start talking about
Oh yeah, they're gonna milk
you know,
that.
No, they're gonna drain that for a full year, and they have every right and they have every I know to do that because all the LeBron lovers out there they milked that for an entire year, and now they're like in a little corner by themselves, wondering if LeBron James can rescue them out of this deep dark hole in their minds. Let me say this now, it's because I'm kind of convinced that LeBron James is the greatest player of all time. There's an argument to be had there between him and Michael Jordan, but let me say this now: if the Lakers lose this series, does it affect his legacy? I just need people to be very careful when they say that. Really, it's because I'm going to make a good reference here to the NFL. So, Tom Brady, if you guys don't watch the NFL, is hands down the greatest player of all time. There's absolutely no argument to be had. No one even comes close to the resume of Tom Brady. Not one person in the NFL has more than 6. The only franchise with more than 7, the only franchise with more than 6 is the only franchise that has 6 championships are the New England Patriots and I think the Pittsburgh Steelers. The only person who has more championships than any of those two teams, which has the most championships in the NFL, is Tom Brady. Now, the final year where Tom Brady was in New England, everybody was saying what they're probably going to say about LeBron James in the offseason. He's old. Too old. He's a system player. Maybe. Or he can't play anymore. He should retire. Call it quits. He should give up. He's just not as good as he used to be. What does Tom Brady do? He goes to Tampa Bay. And if anybody wants to fight me on this, I will. He goes to Tampa Bay. The team was not loaded. The team before Tom Brady got there, it was loaded with a bunch of has-beens and nobodies. Has-beens and nobodies. The only superstar player that was Mike Evans. What did they do? They go on to win the Super Bowl. And Tom Brady, hands down again, is the greatest player of all time. Now, I'm not saying that might happen to LeBron James. That's the narrative, but I do need people to be careful because you might eat your words towards the end. Now, having said that, let's move on to the other series that caught a lot of people's attention. It lit social media on fire. Is there any other person more electric right now than Damian Lillard? Is there anybody? By the way, big shout out to Henry Kim. Hi, what's up? How's it going? Shout out
Henry
from
Kim,
the podcast to Henry Kim again, Migs. Is there anybody more electric than Damian Lillard.
So, this is the thing, ha. Di ba, the Lakers Suns kind of overlapped with Nuggets Blazers.
With the Blazers Nuggets. Yeah.
So I was watching like it was a third quarter of the Lakers Suns. I don't know why I was still watching it. It was a massacre. And and on the phone I was looking at the Nuggets Blazers. So they went overtime, di ba? And then very quickly in the first overtime, like the Nuggets went up big, like 9 points right away. So I was like, oh, okay, they're up 9 points. It's overtime. There's like almost just under 2 minutes left. And then so I kind of thought that it was over. And then I look at the score. Holy shit! It's 134 all. It's going on to the second overtime. Like what the fuck, Damian Lillard? And I look at the replay, and shit. And Damian Lillard makes it look. I mean, it's gotten to a point na we just expect him to make a shot during those situations, diba? It's like, diba, we kind of know na it's coming. You can't do shit about it. And then it's I mean, he made yeah. Go ahead, man.
Because I remember last year, CHL. We were still with CHL. We were still in the CHL podcast. I think I screamed to the heavens that the disrespect for Damian Lillard at some point has to stop. This man has to be at some point in the MVP conversation. This has to stop. Really. Because without Damian Lillard, the Portland Trail Blazers wouldn't be in this position. Without Damian Lillard, the Portland Trail Blazers wouldn't be in the playoffs. Without Damian Lillard, the Portland Trail Blazers are not a winning team. This man, I thought Austin Rivers' tweet earlier was sort of encapsulated everything. He couldn't miss for shit. He was making them, and here's the coolest thing about Damian Lillard. He makes them, and you know he makes them when it counts. He makes them when it counts. When your team needs it the most, I would definitely, between Damian Lillard, Stephen Curry, and LeBron James, give me Damian Lillard with 1 minute to go to erase a 5 or 10 point deficit. Give me Damian Lillard, because there's only one guy who in the past 10, 20 years has eliminated a team in the playoffs with one shot, who's brought back teams from the doldrums with several shots. And in this game alone, against the Denver Nuggets,
doldrums.
In this game alone, I need to shout it because Migs, here's to me what encapsulated that moment with Damian Lillard heading into the second overtime. I think I'm lapping. Okay, now I'm good. I was downstairs because I was watching the Laker game. I thought it was over. I looked at my phone. I leave my phone downstairs to charge. I think the score was 130. I think it was 134, 130 Nuggets ball. Derek tells me this game's over. I go upstairs. I work on the laptop for 5 minutes. 5 minutes in real time. I come back down. I was walking, and then I look at my phone, and I see your chat head pop up. Wow, it's heading to double over. I'm like, what? What happened? And then I watch the replays. I see Austin Rivers' reaction. I see Monte Morris on the floor. He's got his hand on his face. I'm like, Dame time. Just Dame time. I don't even know what to say. Let's give Damian Lillard the credit he's due. Let's stop the disrespect. I'm not that big a Lillard fan, but I'm such a fan of the loyalty. I'm such a fan of how he's a great, amazing leader, and I'm such a fan of the fact that this guy has a no quit mentality. It's not Mamba mentality. It's just clutch mentality. It's Damian Lillard in his finest form. It's Damian Lillard coming up when you need him to. And ladies and gentlemen, for the love of God, this guy, at least at one point in his career, needs to be in the MVP discussion. First team All-NBA. You cannot continue to discredit this guy, for the love of God. NBA. Oh my God.
Always on 7th seed, diba?
They're always. This is what I'm mad because
It's always 7th or 8th for some reason.
I ain't even good. I need to say this. if you look at the Portland Trailblazers, it's one or two injuries here and there that really hit them during the season. It's one or two injuries, and it kind of fucks everything up. When I say it fucks everything up, Damian Lillard has to do a lot of heavy lifting, and he can't carry it all on his own. Look at the teams that he's been on. They haven't been great teams. They've been okay teams. They've been third, fourth seed. If you're not going to get there, you're probably giving the 7th or 8th seed. And that always hurts Damian Lillard. Always. Because Stephen Curry, it's like Curry Lillard. It's that. There's nobody else. Okay. Westbrook probably. But that's third. And now it's Curry Lillard. And the thing that I always want to emphasize to people when this discussion comes up is you can't disregard Dame. It's Dame time. That's the number one thing.
Like, it would be criminal to forget about him. But again, Jeff, they're always playing for the 6th, 7th, or 8th spot. Then that's...
my argument there is that he doesn't have the help. He doesn't have the right help. CJ McCollum gets injured. It's even more difficult. Carmelo Anthony is not exactly the superstar he once was. If he was what he was in 2010, 2011, then he has the help, but it's not. And again, I mean, I've been so high on Dame, and again, I'm not the biggest fan of his. I'm just such a fan of how he plays and the fact that he needs to be given the respect that he's due. Give the guy his due. I mean, I'm a guy that will give credit to where credit is due. That's just how you know me. Give Damian Lillard the respect he deserves, man. This guy is a first-team All-NBA member. This guy deserves to be in the MVP discussion. This guy deserves to be to be recognized as one of the top 5 or top 10 players in the NBA. And if you don't have him on your list, you're absolutely bonkers, right?
Yeah, and again, let's just emphasize this, no. Like, it would be no question that Damian Lillard would be an MVP at least once in his career if lang they go they're in the top 4 in the West. Diba? Because I mean, again, Jeff, we've talked about this a lot. They always seem to be playing from behind. Like, someone always gets hurt. Hurt very early in the season. That means they're underhanded. Is it underhanded? No, it's sorry, they're undermanned. Sorry. I mean, someone always gets hurt, so it means that they're undermanned. Dame never seems to get any help. Like, Yusuf Nurkic has been a shell of himself. They miss Zach Collins and his athleticism.
Yep.
I mean, this team on paper, like, it looks like a top 5 seed. Diba? I mean, you have your defenders, you have your shooters, you have your big guys, but then you have to be on the floor. That's what matters. You have to be on the floor to help your superstar out. And then I'm just afraid that, again, Damian Lillard might be today's version of Kevin Garnett, where this is a guy.
It's not even close. It is.
Yeah, this is a guy who's gonna spend like his entire prime on a mediocre team whose ceiling right now is only the second round, and your third best player is Carmelo Anthony or Nurkic, who's always hurt again, diba? So I don't know. I mean, we haven't even gotten into the game yet, but let me just get this out of the way now. But I am of the belief that it would be better for the Blazers to find a way to deal CJ McCollum. Like, they need someone else. I don't know if you can get an all-star for CJ. Probably an all-star from the East, no? Because CJ would be an all-star in the East. But
what would be great? This is a long shot from happening. Yeah, this is a long shot from happening. But if they can somehow get Jimmy Butler, I think that would be it.
Oh yeah,
it's a long shot. I don't think it's ever going to happen. If it would, I'd be shocked. But because Jimmy Butler has built his identity with the Heat, but the Heat needs something more from him. He needs to be there. Because Damian Lillard will take so much pressure off of Jimmy Butler, and that allows Jimmy Butler to do what he does. But I don't think that's ever going to happen. But again, Damian Lillard does need a lot of help. And if we're going to look into the game, man, the Nuggets, more so than the Blazers lost it, the Nuggets survived. They survived a crazy onslaught. I thought when the game ended at 147-140, I thought Nuggets fans were breathing such a sigh of relief because Damian Lillard. If the Nuggets, here's my take up. If the Nuggets did not get the ball to end both overtimes, they would have lost. I'm letting you know. If the ball wasn't with the Nuggets to end those overtimes, or they did not have, if they didn't have a 4-point lead, they would have lost because Dame time was absolutely on time. You know what I mean? The first overtime, they were up by 3. The second overtime, they were up by 3. So finally, they get a. It took a CJ McCollum out of bounds to give them the win. That's what it took. That's why I'm saying more so than the Blazers lost.
It was kind of an anticlimactic way to end the game, no? Like on a turnover where a guy just steps up. Like you'd rather get a fan.
Yeah.
Diba, you'd rather na they lose it because they missed the last shot.
Exactly. Yeah. And I thought that if you're the referee, that's such a hard call not to make. Like he clearly stepped out of bounds.
He was right, like, he was right
big
there.
foot.
He was right there.
You were right there, so he had to make that call. I can't fault the referee for that. But again, it was. But you know what I appreciate from Damian Lillard? Yeah. You will not hear a peep about him criticizing CJ McCollum about that play. It was what it was. You're not going to hear Damian Lillard say that CJ McCollum's a bullshit team. It speaks a lot to Damian Lillard's leadership. It speaks a lot to how he is as a person. And you're right. He is the Kevin Garnett of the NBA right now, where his prime years are with a franchise that just can't seem to get him the right help. But the one thing that I would say is that I don't think Damian Lillard is also the type that would move. I think he's going to, by hook or by crook, stick it out with Portland and somehow bring this team to the... They were close a couple of years back when they made it to the third round. So,
I mean, that has this series just even more cemented Nikola Jokic's hold on the MVP?
The MVP. I think...
I mean, he gets 38 again.
Yeah, I don't think it did. I mean, looking at this game, it didn't really do much for the MVP. The series, yes, it definitely helps him, but not by much because, if anything, the fact that Damian Lillard has performed out of this world is sort of taking the narrative over. So, I mean, it's still going to be tight between him and Embiid because Embiid right now, they have a chance to close out the Wizards tomorrow. If the Sixers close that out, I think there's a little bit more leeway. The Nuggets, because this is where, whether you like to regard it, whether you want to put it in perspective, you got to put it in perspective, or whether you want to disregard it or not. The way they're playing now means a lot, and the only way that you'll be judged with the way you're playing now, coupled with that, is if you win. So if the Nuggets win, yes, it does help bolster Nikola Jokic's case. Between him and Embiid, it's ahead. In my mind, he's ahead, and if the Nuggets can pull it out in Game 6, Jokic is the MVP. Hands down.
For me, it's just it's been it was a done deal a month ago. Now it was gonna be Jokic, and then this series this series is just shown like Nikola Jokic is a very dominant force. I mean, he doesn't dominate you physically, or at least he doesn't make it look like he's dominating you physically. But then again, they won Game 4 because he just out-hustled the entire Blazers, like 3 Blazers players for that rebound of a Monte Morris free throw.
Yeah,
like he put that back in. I mean, it's he's like Luka in the sense na they're very low-key athletic, very low-key strong.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, Nikola Jokic, man, it really doesn't matter who you put on him. I mean, you put Rocco on him, and he's just gonna muscle him down low. And you put like Kanter or Nurkic on him, and then he's just he's just gonna use that weird agility and just make these like moves to the basket na layups na you never think a big guy could make. Man, it's crazy how good he is. I mean, you can't rush him. He plays at his own pace.
Yeah.
And then man.
Yeah. Nikola Jokic
they're not missing Jamal Murray right now they're not missing Jamal Murray.
Right now they're not. And again, I give Nikola Jokic
maybe next round
because he probably and right now, again, the Nuggets managed to survive 147-140. It was one hell of a game. Went to the double overtime. Probably the best game of the playoffs thus far. there haven't been really a lot of like super tight games. I think when we started the playoffs, yes, with the play-in, it was super tight because those felt like game 7s already with the level of intensity. But this was probably hands down one of the coolest games to watch if you watch it live. Again, the Nuggets survived the Blazers 147-140. And in the other game today, not much to say about that game. I think it was pretty much there was a graphic that I don't mean to offend the resident Brooklyn Nets fan on this show, and but it was obvious. Like there was a graphic that was put out. It was the 2016-27 finals where 2017 finals, and LeBron James on one end, and then you have Kevin Durant, Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson on the other. And then this is what Jason Tatum probably feels like right now, because it probably was. Like it's such a juggernaut of a team. The Nets easily handled the Celtics to close that series out. Now the game, there's not much to be discussed in that game because it was pretty much that. The Nets took care of business, gentlemen's sweep, as we expected and as we called. Where the excitement lies now is in the next round. Bucks, Nets. What a series. You can't write it any better than that. Giannis versus Durant, Holiday versus Irving, and whoever's going to be guarding James Harden. And that's where the Nets' key is. It's going to be such an exciting series. What are we looking forward to when it comes to, as you... we called it gentleman's sweep. Did we not call it gentleman's sweep?
Oh, we said it was
gentleman's sweep. We said it was going to be a gentleman's sweep. I thought Boston would take one. Granted, I heard the Celtics could upset the Nets.
Hey, I never said that.
I did not. I never said that either. I never said that. I thought it was just such a far shot that the Celtics would ever upset the Nets. I don't know where I'm getting this information.
The only, in the East, the only upset that we were expecting was
I called
like
Wizards Sixers. Sixers, but that's not gonna happen.
I thought the Heat would upset the Bucks. I mean, it's
that was a
a
sweep.
We're talking series. We're talking series right now, and then the Knicks Hawks series, ba? If the Hawks win, that's not technically an upset, no? Because they're kind of
even. But I think it's just super surprising that the Hawks are up 3-1. You'd think it'd be like 2-2. That's I think that's the thing. I wish there's comments like the Wizards can upset the Sixers, and then he pulls out Skulls. Hey, again, Calls can be wrong. I'm wrong. I'm not afraid to say that. I thought the Wizards could, but Joel Embiid is playing really well. The Sixers are playing really well, and then figured out better to be the Westbrook.
Okay, so
credits to them.
So Nets Celtics. No, I mean this is one of those series na we were just waiting for it to end because we
pretty much. I mean,
the Celtics didn't have a chance. I mean, bad luck.
And
like, someone always gets hurt.
Jaylen Brown got hurt, and I know Derek's gonna light up because we're not giving the credit. We're not giving the Nets the credit that's due to them. I'll get to them in a bit. So Jaylen Brown gets hurt. That definitely hurts the Boston Celtics. Kemba Walker is just not. There's a lot that needs. Kemba Walker needs a lot to be desired. I think that's the word that I'm looking for. The phrase I'm looking for. He needs a lot to be desired. He's not. He's just not. I don't know. There's so much missing, and I know Marty. If you're watching the show, you're one of the biggest Celtics fans I know. The Celtics just didn't match up well against the Nets. The Nets are overwhelming if you think about it. Now they're looking overwhelming. Now they're looking at the team again that we thought they could be, and it's a credit to James Harden, if anything, because this guy's figuring out how to make it all work. He is 23 points, 19 assists. He got a triple-double earlier. I mean, this guy is just probably one of the highest IQs in the game of basketball. And basketball is so easy for this guy, right? If he wants to score 30, he'll figure out a way to score 30 if he wants to. It's crazy.
I mean, we always knew na. I mean, there are doubts as to whether the Nets can win the championship, but there was never any doubt that they'd go beyond the first round, diba? Like we never doubted them. So, Kenny, does this exit mean the end for like this version of the Celtics? Because last year they were conference finalists last year, and the year before that I think they went to the second round. I mean, there were a lot of expectations for this team.
I don't think so. I think there's going to be a couple of tweaks here and there, but that trio probably Kemba. I don't know. Kemba Walker is like there's something missing with Walker, and I don't know what it is. But he when this team was formed, there was a lot of expectations for Kemba Walker to be the actual driver. When I say driver, he was supposed to be the focal point, but now it's Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown and him. I mean, they have a pattern that they can look at, and it's the Clippers who all of a sudden are turning it up in a crazy way right now. They're just manhandling the Dallas Mavericks, and it's not even like it's such a painful thing to look at. Like, wow, okay, you pissed off the wrong guys, everybody. These guys are here; they're coming to play. They look really dominant right now. Again, this stat leaves it's very underrated. The Clippers, ever since the 4:26 mark of Game 3, have outscored the Mavericks by 50 points. They have outscored the Mavericks by 50 freaking points. The Mavericks just after the 4:26 mark of the first quarter in Game 3, the Clippers have figured out the Mavericks, and it's a very ugly sight. The Mavericks just do not look like they know what to do right now on offense, and I don't know what's gonna happen in Game 5. It's gonna be very pivotal. But going back to my point, no, they still have Tatum, they still have Brown. I don't know what they're gonna do with Walker, but they need to figure out how to make pieces work with those two. If anything, Brown and Tatum, because that's your future. That's where, and it's a reliable future. It's just that Jaylen Brown again is hurt. That's all I'll say.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you don't throw in the towel. Yeah, these are really good pieces to work with. Jaylen Brown in his own right is an all-star, and so is Jason Tatum. He has been an all-star. He's been playing really well. So no, I don't think I think the Celtics still have a chance to make it work. They do. They really do.
I don't know, Jeff, because I mean, I love the two pieces individually, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, but I just don't know if they can take this team to another level with both of them being this good right now, because their games are just so similar that they end up not complementing each other. I don't know if you understand what I mean. But like,
no, I do.
I mean, they're so similar that they actually don't add anything else. If they're both on the floor together, because both of them need the ball to be effective. I mean, you can argue na Jaylen Brown is the better defender, Jason Tatum might be the better scorer, but then again, when you add it all up, they're basically the same player. So I don't know. I mean, and their big and their front court situation. Tristan Thompson has not worked for them. They need a big who, if only Daniel Theis was a little bigger, like he'd be great for the Celtics. But Daniel Theis was only 6'8". They need someone who can they need someone who can be a force down low. Like they need. Like,
they don't have that. Tristan Thompson is not the answer, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, they need a Robin Lopez type, Yusuf Nurkic type player, diba?
That could probably take them over the top. I mean, it's for Danny Ainge to figure out because
and I feel bad for the Celtics because again, this team has dealt with bad luck in recent years. I mean, Gordon Hayward was never right with the Celtics. I mean, he always got hurt. And then you had Kemba Walker, who had like a great season before he went to the Celtics, and then when he got to the Celtics, something just switched off. I mean, it's a.
This is so good. And
then for the record, guys, for everyone who's tuning in, Derek Inanola is not a bandwagon Nets fan.
No.
He's been a Nets fan for years, so he knows his shit. He deserves. Derek.
He deserves.
I mean, Derek deserves to talk shit because he's put up for so much for so long with the Nets. He deserves this.
Let me say this about my youngest brother. There was a time we were watching Nets Pistons, and I'm tearing up just laughing. It's so funny. There was a time he was watching Nets Pistons. My other brother Phil was such a bully sometimes, and Derek was super young. I think this was 2003. I remember this because I can never forget. Derek was watching Pistons Nets, and the Nets were getting manhandled by the Detroit Pistons. They were getting manhandled, and I remember Phil was getting on Derek so bad that he was crying. He was crying on the TV screen because they were getting beat so bad. And my mom comes in and he says, "Don't make fun of the Nets." So this is like full circle for him.
Mom
So
had to step in.
Oh, those are Raptors. I don't know. And mom had to step in and say, "Don't make fun of the Nets. They're not a bad team, but they were such a bad team." Oh, and then he had to endure 12 and 70 seasons. He had to endure there were so many. I don't even know. First of all, you wouldn't even think that there's a fan base in the Philippines for the Nets. There's just none. There's just none. And
difficult. Like you have to be you have to be like a really big NBA fan to be familiar with the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah.
Like,
So
a lot of people still don't know Caris LeVert.
Oh, that's another thing. He was there for the D'Angelo Russells. He was so high on him. The D'Angelo Russell version, the Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce version, the Darren Williams version, the Vince Carter version. That, by the way, I got the jersey right here. The Joe Johnson version. There are so many versions of this Nets team, and then finally, some way, somehow, like it comes full circle. This is a juggernaut of a team. This is the NBA Finals bound Brooklyn Nets. Sorry, so I gotta give Derek his time in the sun because this is a team that looks like they're gonna be a shoe-in to the NBA Finals. And as a Nets, as a diehard, he's not a bandwagon fan at all, ladies and gentlemen. He's a diehard Nets fan. Even Phil will tell you that. And he somehow never bothered to switch teams throughout the years. It's just so funny to me because all of a sudden it comes full circle. Your loyalty is now rewarded. I didn't even think that again the Nets would ever get here.
I believe this.
I don't know. No way. Zach LaVine is an all-star. Caris LeVert is not.
No. Caris LeVert isn't an all-star because he always gets hurt. But if he didn't get hurt,
I would want Caris LeVert to be an all-star first.
I'd like to say this. Caris LeVert is the 2021 version of Joe Johnson. He has the Joe Johnson game. A lot of ISO, dirty, jerky stuff.
But over Zach LaVine, it kind of has to show it first to me. It kind of has to show it. Potential is not gonna cut it. Like Zach LaVine is proving himself. Caris LeVert is still on his way. Like okay, you can argue that, but kind of has to show it first. Now again, I'm giving Derek his time in the sun because this Brooklyn Nets team is just juggernaut. Like holy shit, which brings me to the $1 million question, sponsored by Showroom.ph. Again, quality homes, quality prices. For anybody looking for a home in the Queen City of the South, go to www.showroom.ph or visit facebook.com/theshowroomph. Look for all the best homes. There are so many partners. That page is partnered with so many big-time dealers and big-time developers in the city. It's they're up and coming and they're going to be big. So here's $1 million question. While on the topic of the Brooklyn Nets, because they're so overwhelming to think about. Here's the question, Migs. One player on that team has been on two different teams where you could argue would be probably the best offensive teams of all time. So here's the question. Who is the best offensive team of all time? Is it this Brooklyn Nets or is it the 16-17 Warriors?
Ooh. I just have to pick between the two? I have to pick between
You can't pick?
Yeah. Well, of course, I mean, it's the first time that we've seen like three players of this caliber on the same team. So I'm gonna have to say that when you go 1 to 15 on the roster, just looking at the offense, let's not take a look at the. Not take a look at the defense, but I just have to say that this team might be better just because they have three guys who can score in so many ways. You look at the 16-17 Warriors, you have Curry and Durant who can create their own shot. But you don't. Clay's a great scorer, but he's not someone who like scores off the dribble, the ball creates, and then like the only reason that this team didn't go like 70-12, or the only reason this team didn't win 60 games is because a lot of players got hurt. Kyrie got hurt, KD got hurt, James Harden got hurt. They didn't play a lot together. But
Right.
I mean, just imagine this team playing an 82 game schedule and no one gets hurt, like no one misses time. Like it's hard to imagine them losing more than 15 games. Because again, I love defense. Diba, Jeff, you know me, I love defense. I always preach defense I always preach defense when I was coaching, but at the end of the day, you win basketball games by scoring more points than the other team. Yeah, diba? I mean, you have to score more points than the other team. So it's I have to say the Nets, man. Only if they play together more.
Yeah. I will say this though, because the Nets mong good. They're about a couple of percentage points easier to defend than the 16-17 Warriors. A couple. It's a little bit. Here's why. So a lot of the time with the Nets, and you can see it sometimes in the way they play. The ball sticks to one hand a bit too much for me. The Warriors were good. Like I was just like, how the fuck do you stop this guy? They were the Warriors to me. Not only did they have the perfect players, they had the perfect system. It was a match made in heaven to get Kevin Durant. Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson running around, and then you gotta they're running around in the baseline, they're running around in the key, they're running around in the wings. And then you got a guy like Draymond Green who's more than happy to set picks. Andre Iguodala was more than happy to set picks for these guys. And then you gotta defend Kevin Durant in an ISO situation. What are you gonna do? Like holy shit, how do you as a defense, normally what you do is you'd load up. How do you load up? Like the Celtics did back in 08, you'd kind of it's called a cell drill. You cheat off your man a little bit so that you can help when need be and then recover. But you couldn't do that with the Warriors. You just couldn't. Like if you leave any of those guys could shoot. Draymond Green at that time could still shoot. I don't know what happened over the course of time, but somehow he couldn't shoot anymore, right? With the Nets, they're a lot easier. It's like a little percentage points. They're a lot easier to defend in the sense that they do a lot more ISO, good. So James Harden works the pick and roll a lot more. Kevin Durant is like, he can be a standstill shooter, which is always the dangerous thing about Kevin Durant. Like, you see him get 38 points, and it's an easy 38 points. Kyrie Irving, to me, is also like, he gets 25, 30. It's like an easy 25, 30. And these are guys who will have to adjust to really not really over-dribbling. They have to get used to that. The Warriors, they didn't need to over-dribble. There's a guy on that team who scored 60 on 4 dribbles. There's a guy on that team who doesn't need the ball also to score and be dangerous. And that's Stephen Curry, who's a 2-time and a 1-time unanimous MVP. Kevin Durant, who's just a juggernaut of an offensive player all on his own. So I give that Warriors team just a little bit. Just a little bit. This much. Again, because the Nets, they play a little bit too much ISO for me. So if the Nets have a system like the Warriors and it's a blend where all of a sudden, like, it's just overwhelming to think, how are you supposed to stop them? Because if, as a fan, watching the 16-17 Warriors, like, man, you're just hoping they miss. Like, oh my God. Like, the defense can't do anything. It's crazy.
Jeff, do you sometimes think na Kevin Durant is not talked about more? There's a thing with Kevin Durant. I mean, there's a thing with Kevin Durant. I mean, he's been there. He's been in the NBA for so long, and he's been regarded as one of the top 5 guys in the NBA for so long. But it really seems na he never had his moment on top of the mountain.
In the sun. Right.
Yeah, like he never sat on the throne for that long because I mean, he was MVP for like 1 season. And then he goes to join the Warriors and everyone hated him for that. But you have to think about this. This is the crazy thing about Durant. He's coming off tearing his Achilles, not playing at all last season, and now look at him now. Jesus Christ! I mean he's amazing. It's hard to believe na this was a guy who we thought na would never be back to any version of himself that would be great.
Okay, here's what I'll
Because
say.
nakilis di ba? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Kevin Durant. The one area where Kevin Durant will probably have a great case, and one area where Kevin Durant will always be in the conversation is Kevin Durant is probably, in my eyes, we're not talking about offense in general, we're just talking about scoring. He is the second greatest scorer of all time.
Second to
greatest
MJ?
scorer. Michael Jordan. Because
right.
You cannot stop Kevin Durant. You can't. You just can't. He's 7 foot tall. He shoots a 3-ball. He runs. He probably in a 40-yard dash. He probably runs like a 5 or 4.5 or something. He's got speed. He can dunk. He's got great athleticism. This guy, as a scorer, he's got handles too. What are you supposed to do? Like every person is a mismatch on the guy. You put a big on him, he'll take him to the rack. Or if you put a small on him, he backs him down. He's such a gifted, super hyper, all-time level great scorer that it's hard not to have Kevin Durant in any argument when you're talking about who the greatest scorers are of all time. Is he the greatest offensive player of all time? I give that nod to LeBron James. I give second honors or first honors to Michael Jordan, and then Kevin Durant comes in third. Kobe Bryant comes in fourth. And the only reason why I give Kobe the fourth nod is because, again, he was such a volume guy. Like he had to take a lot of shots. That was my don't even. It's true. That's true.
No. I mean, just look at the comments.
Such a volume guy.
Like, take a look at the comments, motherfucker.
Oh, okay. Oh wow. That is breaking. Brad Stevens moved to president. Wow.
Yeah, I saw I saw a Woj post.
Wow, that's
I saw a Woj post earlier, and then this is
big.
This
is really big. Wow. I mean, I don't really. This is kind of a shock. I don't know what to say because I don't know if it benefits the Celtics more that Brad Stevens is your president of operations more than your head coach, or can he be both? I don't know.
I mean that's what Doc Rivers did with the Clippers.
Was he the president?
And
the
I
coach?
think that's still.
I don't know.
I don't know if he's president. I don't know if he's president but he was a coach and he had like a front office role at the same time. That's what Popovich has with the Spurs. So we have to do this real quick. What does this mean for the Celtics? Head of basketball ops.
I think that. Well, with the Celtics right now, what it means to me, in my eyes, just off the top of my head, it really means that Brad Stevens, the Celtics will rely more heavily on Brad Stevens from a decision-making perspective. When you're the head of,
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Player, when you're talking about personnel, when you're talking about the players, the coaching staff, what the regimens are for each and every player, what the rules are, and now he sets them, and now he has more control over that. So this is an interesting move because I don't know if there was friction between Danny Ainge and Brad Stevens. I don't know, but Danny Ainge again has had his time in the limelight where he built a couple of really good Celtics teams. They made it to the conference finals a couple of years, 2 years. Actually, they made it to the conference finals twice. So they had a really hell of a run.
I don't know how that works, because you have your former head coach who's moving up to the front office, and then you're looking for a new, Brad Stevens' DNA is still as a coach, diba?
Coach.
If you're a head of basketball ops, if you're head of basketball operations, what's keeping you from trying to assert your philosophy on the team, because the coach might have something else in mind, diba? Whoever coach that
true,
is.
But my question is, who's the coach? Is he the coach? Because that's the thing.
Apparently, he's not the coach anymore. He's not going to be. Apparently, he's not going to be coaching anymore. Celtics are looking for a new coach.
Celtics are looking for a new coach. Okay, that's going to be interesting. So I guess the Celtics are all in with Brad Stevens. He's the head of basketball operations, and he's going to steer the ship. Let's see where it goes. Super interesting when you're talking about the Boston Celtics right now and what kind of future awaits them. Because, we just talked about them earlier in the broadcast where, what's the future like for them? What's it going to be looking like? So are they going to break the team up? Are they going to, So a lot of questions, but we have a lot of answers. It's a Wednesday. And that about does it for this front row of the podcast. This has been Jeff. This is Migs. And Migs, one hell of a show. I really wanted to get that Damian Lillard bit out. Like it was, I needed to scream it into the heavens. Like somebody give this man his fucking due already. Like seriously. But before we end the show, anybody you want to show some love to? Anybody you want to give some parting shots?
Yeah,
to?
I mean, a very big get well soon to Quade Dilau, who sprained his ankle earlier. We were playing 3-on-3.
Yeah. Okay, I don't know.
We were playing 3-on-3. I told you to flash that. So so we're playing 3-on-3, and we beat him. No, he was on the other team. We beat him. Like I hit him with a and then like and then it's over. Okay. It was over. Like and then
okay.
Over
okay,
real quick.
Okay.
Get well soon, Quade. You literally have to get well soon because if you don't play, we're gonna be lacking one guy. We're gonna be one guy short. So you have to play tomorrow. Quade.
Right.
Please.
Okay. Again, anybody else? Anybody else that you want to give a shout out to except for Quade?
Aika, as always, Aika, and then all our consistent listeners, all our support, everyone who's been there with us since day one. And then big shout out to producer Derek, who's probably had like one of the happiest days of his life today. The Nets advancing to the second round. And then not only are the Nets advancing to the second round, they're actually favored now. Like they're actually the favorites now. So Derek,
hands down,
big day for you, my friend. Big day.
Congratulations. All right, so from my end, again, I want to give a mad shout out to two. Quade Dilau do get better. And by the way, I ate shawmai earlier with Silly Q. It was, of course, the bomb. It was absolutely delicious. And again, mad shout out to Silly Q. And of course, the showroom.ph. Your quality homes, quality prices. If anybody watching this show is looking for a really nice home in the Queen City of the South, visit facebook.com/theshowroomph, showroom.ph, or visit the site www.showroom.ph for more details on how you can score an amazing home in the Queen City of the South. And last but not the least, I want to give a mad shout out to everybody who is watching the podcast, who supports us day in and day out. We will be back. Hey, we're nearing Friday. Get ready. It's going to be called the last 2 minutes now because we got to keep it under 2 minutes. It's going to be called the last 2 minutes. The Friday film is coming up, guys. Enjoy the rest of your week. This has been Jeff. This has been Migs. We'll see you soon.